Good morning, St. Francis. Good morning, people of God. It is Wednesday, the 18th day of October, 2023. Wednesday of the 28th week of the year, the 28th week in Ordinary Time. Is also today in which we honor the memory of the evangelist, gospel writer Saint Luke. So today is St. Luke's Day. Remember all of those, especially who are in medical professions, nursing professions, healthcare professions, all the professions that take care of the welfare of the human person. As St. Luke was traditionally known as a physician, whether or not that's true, never been verified, but it comes down to tradition. He's a patron saint of all those in healthcare industries, healthcare careers, healthcare jobs. Coming to you this morning, so it has been done. The new province of Our Lady of Guadalupe has been established yesterday, so today now begins the more boring kind of business details that need to be taken care of within the new province. Our new provincial, Larry, has been named, as well as our vicar, our assistant provincial, Mark, and then an 8-person council. Holy Name province only had 6. Most provinces only had 6. Now we need 8 because of the United States, because of the largeness of the country, things like that. So continue to pray for this chapter as it continues, especially our new administration, for Larry and Mark, especially as they begin to map a new future for the Franciscans in the United States. But coming to you this morning from the outside of the Sheraton, there it is, there's the S, from the Sheraton, where this chapter is taking place. Behind me on this side, yeah, you can see right there, that's the Great Western Auto. If you're ever been to Kansas City, the Great Western Auto neon that flashes the whole time, all day long, all kinds of things like that. So, but today, so as we honor Saint Luke, readings are special for him because it is Saint Luke. And the first reading basically is from the second letter to Timothy, and Paul is basically writing about his woes, and that everybody has left him. In some ways, it seems that some person has gone off because worldly desires have taken over his heart. He doesn't want to do the gospel anymore. But then there are 2 others are mentioned. One of them is Titus, and Titus and Timothy are taken together as saints. But as Titus goes off, it says, to some other place. But is that place to spread the gospel, or is that place basically because Titus got distracted by worldly affairs? If he did, and he's still a saint, that says a lot about saints. And perhaps it would be better if he got distracted by worldly affairs after he did the work that he was supposed to do in spreading the gospel. Who knows? But there are a whole lot of other people who come and go. Luke's name is mentioned, that Luke is still with Paul. And so this is where he's gathering information to be able to write the gospel, to write Acts, what have you. Is that why he's with him? Nothing more is said. The other interesting thing that is said about this is that Mark is called for by Paul. Now, a couple of chapters earlier, a couple of letters earlier, Paul does not care for Mark much, but now somehow he's gotten back in his favor. So the fact that Mark is going to become an evangelist, maybe has something to do with it. Who knows? But basically, it's just a list of people who are doing, the work of spreading the gospel, and Paul is writing to Timothy about this, and Luke is one of those people. Not much you can say. That's about it. But I guess that it takes all kinds, and again, maybe perhaps with the whole work of the gospel is that it's not always one straight shot. It goes up and down, and there are people who come into spreading the gospel, and those basically who eventually move on, in their lives to other kinds of things, to other kinds of pursuits. Where those are good or bad, again, is up to God to decide. But that is kind of an interesting sort of thing we can take away from this first reading. The second reading kind of comes from Luke's gospel and is about the sending of the 72, which I think we have also done already. I think we did, or it was on a Saturday or something like that. But anyway, again, the whole purpose of the 72, again, it's in Luke's gospel because Luke is again trying to show the fact that the spreading of the gospel, as the first reading of Paul's letter to Timothy shows, the spreading of the gospel is not something that's done by one person. It can never be done by one person. Jesus inspires, but then it is up to us to continue that inspiration into the hearts and the lives of others. So again, this great idea of 72 being sent out 2 by 2, to stay in the houses that they are placed in, and to eat the food that is put before them. And again, if people don't, believe, then it's a condemnation against them. All kinds of things like that. But the idea is we do this together. We do this as a community of faith. We do this as believers in support and concern and journeying with one another. If we think that we can do this on our own, then our faith will fail. If we think that we can just do this with certain individuals who are listed as leaders and who wear things to designate themselves as leaders, and that's the only thing that we think will spread the gospel, well, that might work and it might not. Everyone matters to Christ. Everyone matters in the spread of the gospel. Everyone matters in helping others realize the wonder and beauty of a God who loves us, who wants us to be the people that we've been created to be, and who wants us to shine like lights to those in darkness and those in despair. Continue to pray, please, St. Francis and people of God, for this Franciscan Unity chapter, and may the Lord give you his peace.